But does married life seem a little boring to you?
Does it seem boring?
A little sedate?
No, I've seen interesting marriages and I've seen not interesting marriages.
Do you love him?
Pardon me?
Do you love him?
He's dated supermodels, walked red carpets, and captured hearts around the world. But at 50, Leonardo DiCaprio remains Hollywood's most eligible and most elusive bachelor. No wife, no wedding, no commitment. For decades, fans and the media have speculated, joked, and obsessed. Why does Leo always walk away? Now, after years of silence, DiCaprio has finally broken his silence. And what he just revealed isn't what anyone expected. Was it fear, regret, or something far deeper? This is the truth Leonardo DiCaprio has kept hidden, until now. Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio was born on November 11, 1974, in Los Angeles. He was named Leonardo because his mother felt him kick while admiring a Da Vinci painting in a museum. His parents, George and Ermeline, were artistic, bohemian, and broke. When Leo was still a baby, they separated. George had fallen in love with another woman but didn't abandon his son. Instead, the two households lived side by side with a shared backyard. It wasn't conventional, but it worked. Growing up, Leo wasn't raised among movie stars and millionaires. He lived in rough neighborhoods surrounded by crime and poverty. He once described seeing drugs and violence right outside his window, but he was never without ambition. As a kid, he dreamed of becoming a marine biologist or an actor. Acting won out. He was obsessed with copying people, making faces, and watching reactions. He first performed on stage at just 2 years old. When his stepbrother Adam made $50,000 from a TV commercial, Leo knew what he wanted. He struggled at first. Auditions were hard. One agent told him to change his name to Lenny Williams to sound more American. He refused. With his father's support, he kept pushing. Slowly, commercials led to small roles, and small roles led to breakthroughs. In 1993, he starred alongside Robert De Niro in This Boy's Life. A year later, he delivered a powerful, heart-wrenching performance in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. At 19, he earned his first Oscar nomination. Then came Titanic. It wasn't just a movie, it was a cultural earthquake, the highest-grossing film of its time. Overnight, DiCaprio became the face of a generation. Millions of fans fell in love with Jack Dawson. And even more wondered, who was Leonardo DiCaprio off-screen? The answer? Complicated. In the years after Titanic, DiCaprio purposely avoided romantic roles. He didn't want to be typecast as the pretty boy. Instead, he teamed up with Martin Scorsese and took on intense, demanding roles. Gangs of New York, The Aviator, The Departed, Inception, The Wolf of Wall Street, and eventually The Revenant, which earned him the elusive Oscar he'd been chasing for years. He became more than an actor. He became a producer, an environmental activist, a United Nations messenger of peace. He founded his own production company and campaigned against climate change on a global stage. But while his professional life soared, his personal life remained a mystery. He's been linked to dozens of famous women: Gisele Bündchen, Bar Raffaelli, Blake Lively, Camilla Morrone, and most recently, Italian model Vittoria Ceretti. But no relationship has ever ended in marriage. Some were brief, others lasted years, yet all ended the same way, quietly, without commitment. To outsiders, it looked like a pattern. Leo was always dating younger models, always avoiding anything too serious. Jokes and memes exploded across the internet. Some even claimed he never dated anyone over 25. But the truth is more complex than any headline. Gisele once said that she left the relationship because she was on a journey of personal growth, and Leo wasn't ready to follow. Camilla, who was with him for nearly 5 years, faced brutal public scrutiny because of their age difference. She later said, "A relationship can only work if you're not afraid to be alone." And even after their breakup, there was no drama, no scandal, just a quiet goodbye. So what's the real reason? According to those closest to him, Leonardo DiCaprio simply doesn't see marriage as necessary. Insiders say he values freedom, privacy, and control. Others say he pours himself so deeply into his acting that relationships always come second. But then there's another theory, a deeper one name that's always lingered quietly in the background: Kate Winslet. They met in 1996, cast as Jack and Rose in Titanic. From the moment filming began, their chemistry was undeniable. On set, they were inseparable. They pulled pranks, laughed constantly, and supported each other through the grueling shoot. When Titanic became the biggest film in the world, fans immediately assumed they were a real-life couple, but both denied it. Kate famously said, "We never fancied each other. It would have been a disaster." Leo echoed that, saying they were too comfortable, too close to date. But comfort doesn't erase connection, and theirs was unlike anything else in Hollywood. Over the years, their bond only deepened. While other co-stars drifted apart, Kate and Leo stayed close, through marriages, breakups, and career milestones. She called him her rock. He said she was family. In 2009 at the Golden Globes, Kate won for Revolutionary Road, a film they starred in together. On stage, she looked at Leo and said, "I love you with all my heart." The crowd erupted. Leo smiled. But again, they said, "Just friends." When Leo won his first Oscar in 2016, Kate cried in the audience. After the show, they embraced tightly, like nothing and no one else existed. For years, fans called them the greatest love story that never was. And maybe they were right. In a rare 2025 interview, Kate finally opened up. "We've never been together," she said, then paused. "But if life had been different, who knows?" 3 simple words, "who knows," set the internet on fire. Fans wept. Headlines exploded. Finally, after decades of rumors and denials, Kate had admitted what millions suspected all along. There was something deeper, something unspoken, something missed. She spoke of their timing, how they were never single at the same time, how their lives never aligned, but also how Leo had been the one constant in her life. Through it all, he was there. And Leo? When asked about her comments, he simply said, "Kate will always be family." Maybe that's his way of protecting what they had. Maybe for Leo, the only relationship that truly mattered is the one he never had to define. Because the truth is, Leonardo DiCaprio may not fear commitment. He may fear losing what little he's managed to keep sacred. In a world where everything is photographed, published, and judged, his bond with Kate Winslet remained untouched. Private, pure. Maybe that was more valuable to him than any ring. Today, Leo is still dating Vittoria Soretti. They've been spotted traveling together, attending events, even spending time with his mother. Insiders say he enjoys her company. She gets his lifestyle. But they also say the same thing they've said for years. Marriage isn't on the horizon. Even when Victoria was seen wearing a diamond ring, sources quickly clarified it wasn't an engagement. Just another accessory in a relationship that's meaningful, but not permanent. So where does that leave Leo? At 50, he's starting to talk more about fatherhood. In a recent interview, he said, "I'd like to have kids someday. I'm not getting any younger." It's the first time he's ever spoken seriously about becoming a parent. But marriage? That remains unlikely. Because maybe Leonardo DiCaprio has already had the deepest connection of his life. Maybe the greatest love story wasn't about passion or romance, but about timing, trust, and the quiet spaces in between. Kate once said, "There's no judgment, just love." And maybe that's all Leo ever wanted. So while the world waits for a wedding that may never come, Leonardo DiCaprio continues to live on his own terms, acting with passion, giving back to the planet, and guarding his heart in a way only he understands. Because sometimes the greatest love stories aren't about rings or proposals. Sometimes they're about the ones that got away. If this story moved you, hit that like button. Subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. And let us know in the comments. Do you think Leo will ever settle down? Or did he already meet the one who got away? Thanks for watching.